Session is going on. All right. So thank you everyone for joining today. Today we are going to continue our session on data visualization. So the first thing um, I know in our first session where we did Python, you already started learning about how to use data visualization, but um, we're going to dive in deep into the details on how to use data visualization, when to use which float, and all those stuff. But today, we'll just dive in into the basics of Matplotlib, where we will see how we can use Matplotlib in different scenarios. So as a data scientist, one of the most useful thing you can do to communicate or share insight is using data, right? So you can have multiple tables, multiple informations, but the best way for you to send those information is to create a very good visualization. That's what the core uh, task for data scientists. With that visualization, you can be able to tell stories, you can be able to tell trends, outliers, and patterns. So that's what visualization is. And visualization, at some point, you may hear people saying plots. So when you hear plots and visualizations, these two things work together and they are sometimes called interchangeably. So when you hear somebody said, can you have a very better plots or can you have a better visualization? They mean the same thing. So in this session, we are going to basically work through different kind of plots or visualization. How can you visualize quantities? How can you visualize distribution, proportion relationships? So if you look at our GitHub repository, you will see different topics on visualizing quantities, different topics on visualizing, distribution, different topic on visualizing, proportion, and also on visualizing relationships. So in this session, we're gonna look at all of these, and not in this session, but in this cohort, we look at all of these. But today we're gonna start with the basic of Matplotlib. So if you want to do visualization in Python, you can do with different libraries. So you can use Matplotlib, you can use Seaborn, you can use Plotly, you can use Alter. So you can see in Python, you can basically have quite different options to use, to do visualization or plots. In fact, you can use pandas to do visualization or plots. But Matplotlib will give you the basics that it is easy. Even other visualization libraries, they are built on top of uh, Matplotlib. For example, Seaborn, Pandas, they are all built on top of their visualization capability. They are built on top of Matplotlib. So you can see Matplotlib, if you learn it, they give you a very detailed, foundation for using learning other visualization or plotting library. So just to recap, today we'll be able to see the basic of Matplotlib, and after today, in the next couple of days, we'll be able to see different kind of visualization. And now, if we want to use Matplotlib, this is what you're gonna always do: import Matplotlib the pipeload as PLT, just like we are using import NumPy as NP or import pandas. So this is what we'll be using, in importing Matplotlib. And this is just an example that I want to give you before we dive in to see how simple it is to plot using Matplotlib. And you can see this is a data. We created a data using Python, right? We call it np.arrange, which allow us to create 10 data point. You can see arrange is a function. You can see from 0 to 9, right? We can have 10, right? And then we can use this matplotlib. You can see PLT. We can see PLT. We can call a function called plot, and then we can give it our data here. And then we can have a very straight line. You can see plot. So plot is a function in matplotlib that allows you to plot a straight line. And you can see how easy it is to actually do plotting using matplotlib, right? You can just, call plot function to draw that. that's the basics of, using creating a plot using Matplotlib. But there are a lot of details you can learn a lot about Matplotlib that we may not cover in today's session. So there is this Matplotlib user guide. You can learn more about Matplotlib, but today we can dive into a small part. Now, this is the beginning of the complete session. If you miss, something, if you are confused, please stop me or ask question, and then I can explain more. But from here, we can get started to the details, nitty gritty of this Matplotlib. Now, if you want to use Matplotlib, it all started with this figure, plt.figure to create this. So what is this? Now, let me just give you a scenario. If you want to do drawing, what do you do first? Who can tell me the answer? If you want to draw, like, maybe beautiful house to show some to people, what do you do? What do you get first?
Firstly, you need to get the scale.
The scale, okay. Then what?
Then
Then the title.
Sketch.
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 Okay, then what again?
I think the plot should be the first.
Eh?
The plot of land should be the first thing that we get.
But do you forget, like, you need to get the figure, like, the environment you want to do the plotting? Is it not the first thing you're gonna get?
the first one.
Yes. Remember, if, for example, we're in primary, you want to learn how to do plotting, you get you a small book, right? Small paper. You remember we
Yeah.
get this like white plot, right? White paper in our primary school where we get
Yeah.
without any line. Do you remember that thing?
Plain sheet.
Plain sheet, exactly, exactly. So you need to get your plain sheet straight before you start doing any plots. That's what this is doing. Plotted figure is getting you your plain sheet. Like you are getting your figure, like the environment where you're gonna do. So this is the first thing if you want to do plotting in Matplotlib. So you can see, think of figure as a blank sheet of paper where you will draw your plots. It is a top level container that hold everything. Yes, remember that sheet that you get? It is that everything. Even if you do your drawing, it is where you everything will. So you can have, even in your sheet, you can have multiple, plots, right? So I can have a single sheet. I can draw a house in the top. I can draw a plant in the right, and then can draw a boy in the bottom. So you can see in a single sheet, you can have multiple plot, right? Multiple bigger, right? So this is, yeah, create like this, what this mean. Now, if I create this first, you can see that, then I can actually add plots. So for example, here you can see, you know, so somebody is getting this one, clear. Okay, so just give me a second. All right. Okay. So you can see here, this one create a blank figure, and then this one I add subplot. Can you see something called subplots? This one allow you to add a plot in the figure. So now I create a plot, a figure, and then how many plot can I create? Now here I can have this one here, for example. I can have one, and then run this one. Now you can see here I have, when I create this is a sheet, for example. The sheet, we may not be able to see the sheet, but then I can add something on top of the sheet. So here I can add one plot, one figure. Then this one and one, it means something. What does that mean? So let me show you something, an example. Now, assume this is a figure. Here we have, this is my paper that I want to draw something. I can have this side. I can draw in 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 this side. What this is telling you here is two. It means how many rows you are going to have. I have two rows. That is the first one. Two, it means you are creating two rows. The second number, it means I'm creating two columns. The first one here, it means I'm creating a figure in this place, the first place. The two rows, this figure number, if you look at this here, add subfigure, look at it here. Subfigure, I have two columns, two numbers in the subplot. I have the first number, second number, third number. what does first number means? The first number is telling that I want to have how many rows. If you want to have two rows figure, for example, this one, can you see I have two rows? I have this first row, second row. So the first number tells you need to have two rows. The second number tells two columns. So you can see I have first column, I have second column. And the third number, it means you specify what column, what plot. This line is telling me this one here. Let me remove this one here. You can see this one is third column, right? Third row. So when I remove this one, let me run this guy. You can see I have this only these two, right? It means when I remove this top two, let me see. It means I want to have only two rows, two columns, but only one figure. When I run this, I have only this one here. So this is what it means by subplots. So just to recap, when you want to start doing plot in Matplotlib, the first thing is to create a figure. The figure, it means like the sheet, the blank sheet, and then you come and add plot in different spaces. And then, as I said, you can add multiple plots. So when you add in multiple plot, is to have this number to specify. So this is basically, you can see the first number of rows in your subplot, second number of columns in your subplot, the third number position of this specific subplot. So this is basically what this means, in creating plot in Matplotlib. Any question? Just get started now. We are putting the foundation, any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, sir. The explanation was not very clear. When you put 2 to 1, do you mean we should have like I was thinking about it includes the range. So your explanation just captured the plots. I did not get actually what you mean there, sir. Sorry.
Okay. So let me delete this one to just so that we are not confused. So what I mean is that maybe this will be okay. So this is how to make plot. We understand this. This is a figure, and now if I want to create a plot, I can have this. I can have two argument 1, 2, 3. This is my one figure, right? But what about a situation where you want to create multiple plots, not one, not two, not three? We can do that. Maybe we can say, okay, I can want this one here. I need this like this, and then I can have this as well. These ones, if you look at this one here, then we have more than one. The number here, as I said, the first number, it's telling you are having two rows because I have two rows here. What about, you can see the two stages, this first stage, second stage. The number here, it meaning that you have two columns. You can see first column, second column, right? So that's how you can cascade many plots at the same time. We'll explain more, but I think this is just a simple way just to show you like how you can do some plotting. Let me just give us an example. This is an example. As you can see, I run this. I have my plot. Each plot you're gonna do, as I said, each plot you must have this figure. You can see that I create a figure which is the object figure. Now you take this object figure, you can see figure and add subplot. This add subplot add this one you create the you create a space where you want to create your picture design. And now here you create this object add, then you add plots. So here you can see I add this one plot. I don't know if this is clear. Here you can see this is just like a plot without anything inside because we are not plotting any data. So now let me create a random data here. You can see here I have a random data. Now this is the data. So if I want to create a data here, you can see here I create, this is a full plot. This is the first object I created. You can see that I create a figure, and now here I add subplot, and then I have one row. I want to create one row, one column, and one figure. And then this is my data. I create a random data. Now I create this add object that I created x1. Then I now call plot. I now put the data I want. You can see the data. I can put the color I want, and then I can put the line style I want, which is dash dash. This is how we can basically create a plot in Matplotlib. There are various steps. This is the first step. Create an object. You can see that. Specify how many plots you want to do, and then finally plot the object. So here you can see I said the first thing is to create the sheet, for example, the environment. Now here allow you to specify how many plot you are going to use, and now here you plot it, right? So this is basically how you can do that. I will dive into the detail about that. But you can see here, I have something here that comes out here at the end. If you don't want it, you can put semicolon like this. Can you see that? When I run this, you can see there isn't that output, right? But then I have another function called figure size. Now, what this means is that at some point here, you can see this is giving us a default figure size. At some point, you may want to have like a figure size like this, very wide, or you can have it like this, or you can have it very tall figure. You can see tall figure, right? So there is argument called figure size that you can use to specify how you want your figure to work with. Now, that argument is after you create your figure, you're gonna have a function inside figure size that you can specify how that you want to be. Now, this is the same function. I want to create an example. Here you can see we have the first in there, we have the figure size, we have the width, and we have the height. So the first number we provide will be the width, and the last number here will be the height. So here you can see I give like 10 at the width, and the height is 3. And then here I have like a plotting function. Just plot. This is the x, this is the y. Now I run this guy. You can see this is an example. The figure size is the wide is 10. You can see this is very wide, and the height is 3. You can see this is the height is 3, right? So this is basically the figure size. What about this one? The you know the this one. So you can see here I have 6, right? That means I have everything equal side, and this will give me the perfect square, right? This will give you the perfect square where I have like the where I have the height and width are the same. You can see 6 6. So this is a function called figure size argument that allow you to specify the figure size. But what about this? You can see the figure size, the width is 5 and the height is 10. So you can see this, if height is 10, when I run this, you can see the height is 10. If you want to run multiple, stuff. So we discussed two things again now. I introduce the concept of what is called figure size. Figure size allow you to, what about if you don't allow the figure size? Somebody may ask this question. If I don't say, provide any figure size, what will happen? So you can see default size is 6.4 and 4.8. This is the default size, which may, if you don't provide for example, now if I remove this, can you see that I remove figure size and say, okay, float this guy, and then I run this, you can see it. This is the default. So Matplotlib comes with default, but at some point I don't want this default. I want to specify the size or the height and the width. That is when you're going to use the figure size. So this is figure size function. Any question before we move on? So now we create, we understand, things that we can create our plot. Question? Okay. Now, we can do many things with our plots. Now, let's look at this one. At some point, you want to put something here at the top, right? You want to put something here at the y-axis, right? Now, how can you do that? Now, here you can see we have the plots here. Here it means we want the width to be 8, width to be 8, and the height to be 12, right? Figure size, we specify this. And then we have our data, we create a random data, and then we have our AX figure. You can see this is the object we created, the plot object figure, and then we can call the figure add subplot, which is, it means we have 3 rows, 1 column, and 1 figure. That is only one here. So I can change this one here because it doesn't, I need only 1 plot, for example. Can you see this one? Can you see how it does? Now, here you can see I have some stuff. AX1, this is the object we already created. Remember, this is the data. This is the data. This is the this is the data we created. And then here we can take our object, then we can plot it here. You can see it now. I can take this one here. You can see the plot, right? This is the plot. Remember here I said 12 here because the size you can see is very long, right? But I can change this one, for example. Let me change to 6 to 6 and see what will happen. 6, 6. You can see this is 1, right? This one you can see this is like, what about if I say 4, 4, 4, 4? You can see that. You can see this. So this is actually the time. Now I create my plot. Remember, I always said the first thing if you want to do create a figure in Matplotlib is to create a figure. Figure create the paper, just the paper you want to do the drawing. And then when you create this paper, then this is the object figure. You can add plots in it. So here you can see we said, okay, a figure that adds a plot, and then we have object AX1, we create a project. But now here we create the plot, but what kind of data we want to plot data. Let me remove this again. Let me remove this. When I take this one, you can see here, you can see what is happening. This is just the plot. You can see I have the plot. I have created this, but I don't have anything data inside. So data inside is here. I create a data here. When I create the data, this is the data, but this is the data. I didn't plot the data. No plot yet. No plot yet. Yeah, I create the, the space I wanna. So if I wanna do the plot, this last line is the one creating this object X1 and then calling the plot function. And then the first object will be your data. Because the float function, if you look at it, the float function take your data. Can you see it? X, that is your data. That's what it takes your data, and then you can provide some, argument, the color you want, the line style you want, and then when we run this, that is how here we have this one. That's how you do it. Now, this is also another one here. As you can see, the same thing. We create our own stuff here. We create our data. You can see your data. Normal distribution data, and then we have our AX2 here, which we call histogram. But here you remember here what kind of plot we call plots. So this plot create a line plot. This function create a line plot. You can see this kind of plot we have line plot. But here you can see we create a data, and then we create a function called hist. It create a histogram. So you can see this create a histogram. So here we can see we have histogram. And then we can have scatter plot. Now here you can see I have object, I have AX, and then I have some values in X and Y. I want to create something called scatter plot. Then I call AX3 scatter and put the value of X and Y here. Then when I run this, I have this kind of plots. So this is called scatter plot. Don't know that I don't know scatter plot, I don't know bar plot and whatsoever. We will explain all those things in our next session. Today we are giving you the the structure on how Matplotlib works. And then I can put all those plot together. You can see them. I can put them in a line plot. You can see bar plot and then scatter plot. So this is how plotting in Matplotlib works. Okay, so let me go also to another thing is colors, markers, and lifestyle. Now, the next thing I want to go on is at some point I want to take detail of going through this line, this, all this stuff. At some point you want to put markers, colors in your plot. For example, you can see this one, we have, color, right? Now, how can you do that? So this is, as you remember, I said when we want to use Matplotlib, this is where you're going to import Matplotlib, import any. And now here I create a line here. Let me take this one here, top here. You can see this one here, and this is just a line we created. You can see this is just like line space. This allows us to create like random data points. This is the data point. And then I want to draw this data point. For you to do drawing data point or to plot, visualize data point, remember the first thing we're going to do is to create a figure, right? And now figure, you can have an object here to specify the size of the figure. And now here you can see I can take, plot here, PLT here. I didn't create the object here, AX1 figure to add subplot. So here I just call, PLT, figure, PLT from Matplotlib. I create a figure, and then again I take this PLT. Remember here I didn't create any object AX1, so I'm using PLT. Then that's why I call plot. If you look at the previous case example, here I create a figure, and then I create my plot here. I create an object called AX1. Then everything I'm doing, I call AX1 on top of it to call this function plot. But here I didn't create that object AX1. I create, here is my data X, and now because I didn't create any object, and then I have PLT figure. You can see then I have my PLT, which is from the object from this one. I call it a plot, and the plot here I have my, X, which is the data I create, and then I have this one. So this actually color allow you, it's a argument that allow you to say what kind of color do you want your plot to have. So if I run this, you can see I have green color, right? But you can change the color. For example, here you can say G, green. I can have this blue. For example, you can run this. You can see you have your color is blue, right? So this color allow you to specify the kind of color you want. But also you can specify color in different style. You can see this is, the color code green. For green, you can use 0.75 to using grayscale, and hexa code. You can see this one, and even RGB style, so that you can provide the color style in different format, like, the way you want. So let me change this one to 0.5 here to the 0.75 and see. So you look at the color style. Or let me change it to here, this style, and see what it will give us. No. What did I do? Colors. You can see what, so, there are different kinds. So different kind of color style you can specify. So this is how we specify the color for our plot. We use this color, argument to provide that. And there are many code for the color code. You can have, this is B mean blue, green, red, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, Let me put K here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. What this argument np.sign x means?
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yes. So okay, so you can see here I have K, right? I have K. So you can see here we have, this, what. So somebody was asking us like what this np.k stands. So if you remember the plot, what plot argument, what are the plot argument, the first and second argument of plot? Can somebody tell us? The argument of plot. The plot function takes two arguments. The first one is what, and the second one is what?
X and Y.
Exactly.
X and Y.
X and Y, right? So this is an, okay, let me take you this one. NP the sign F. Look at it. NP the sign X is a value. Can you see it generate, it's a value? Just like how we have our X is a value line space here. So X and Y are, this is X, this is Y. So here I can say, okay, instead here I can say, okay, y is equals to this one, NP does this. Just like I have this.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, you put K and the properties of color. So you already stored the K equals to color, equals to that color, or you just put the K. If I
Okay.
try this,
Okay, I will explain. Okay. So here you can see I specify my X and Y, right? X is value and Y. All these one are values. All these are numbers. So let's look at what is X. What is X is this. You can see that. What is Y? Y is this. You can see that. So now I want to plot those things now, right? So what I want to, if I want to plot those things, you can see I already specify X and Y here. I don't need this guy because I already have my X. Now here I can remove this. I can put my Y here, right? Now I can put my Y here, right? Instead of that thing, so this means that PLT that plot the first argument X this Y. But what about if I want to put color for my plot? There are several ways to give color to your plots. One option is to use this style, color code. We have codes for color. B means blue, G means green, R means red. So I can come here and say, if I use it, I say G, color is G. Can you see it? Or I can say my color is blue. I can do that. Can you see that? Right? Or I can say my color is yellow, which is Y. Ironic. You can see that. This is one way using what we call color code. Color code, one way called color code. But there are different ways to do this. Another way is what we call grayscale. Grayscale, which ranges from value from 0 to 1. If I put value here, 0, look at it, it give me black, right? What about if I put 0.5 here? Look at the value. What about if I do 0.2? Can you see that? Grayscale is a 0 is black and 1 is white. Grayscale is from 0 to 1. This is different color style. Or you can use hex code, which also allow you to specify color style. Or you can use this RGB color code. If you are into Python, you may know all this. But I think the easiest one is to use, color code that allow you to specify the color of your plot. I don't know the person that asks about the key, which means if I use K, we can see what is K, black. If we run this, it gives. I don't know the person that asks about K, if this makes sense.
okay, sir. Do you think that you must store the K equals to black, B equals to blue before
No,
you?
no. You don't need Python know that. Python know that.
Okay,
Matplotlib know that. You don't need to store anything. You
okay.
don't need to store anything. Just when I'm just explaining, this is just explanation for you to know. Python
Okay.
already know this. For example, when I give this, what about if I give P? P. Python don't know P. Can you see that? Because
Yeah.
P is not already known. But these are the common tag code that are known. These are the code that are known. You know what I mean? So if we put P because it's not known, but blue is known is one of the color code. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yes. Understand.
Okay, cool. So that's what
Yes, sir.
Mhm. So that's what is meant to do that. But let's look at the also line style. You can see this is a straight line, like right line connected. What we can have different line style. Now, line style control how your lines appear. Okay, now you can see this is the same example that I gave you, right? Let me this is the same example and we have multiple. Okay, let me on do this. So if I run this, you can see here this is the multiple lines because I have this, this is sine my x minus 1. This y is different. All these y values are different because x minus 2, x minus 3, the numbers are different. So you can see here I have different colors, color and whatsoever. You can see I have something like this, right? So now, even the colors, what about the colors? You can see here all the lines are of the same color, right? You can have different line color. So here you can see I have dash dash and whatsoever. How can you do that? So we have another argument which is called level. Can you see that? Line style, I mean, we have what we call line style. line style. So when I have line style solid, what will happen? Let me run this guy. You can see solid line style. You can see solid. What about if I have dash line style? Look, let's look at it. You can see this is dash line style. What about if I have dotted line style? This is dotted. Can you see that? What about if I have dash dot line style? Dash dot. So dash dot, you can see is dash and dot, dash dot, dash dot. This is left for you to choose any line style you want, right? And this is just explaining to you, just taking the details of Matplotlib, all this stuff. Any question? Again, you can see here, line style, I said solid. What about if I put this one? This, can you see that? What about this dash? Dash, I can put this dash, it means dash. What about this dotted? I can put this one. This dot dash dot, I can put this one. So when I run this, I have something mistake here. Let me see.
That in line, like plot. Yeah. Yes, two string.
You can see that, right? So you can see you have different stuff. You can see this is, so you can do many things different ways. We're just giving you now, this is, you can do that. But we also have what we call level. I can come over to this, but just, I believe now you understand what is line style. Line style control how your lines appear. But let's move on with another one. So you can see we have different line style. This is solid line. This is dash line. This is dotted. And then we can have none, which is mean no line. So when you have this, line style, I remove this, for example. To put this as argument, not to remove it, to put it as argument, or empty, something like this. Line style empty. Can you see this is the empty line style? It doesn't connect anything for that one. You can see I have the solid, but there is nothing here. So, but we also have something called markers. Markers. Sometimes you see plot like this with this dash, right? So what this means is that we have something, an argument called marker equals to 0. Now let me go back to here. You can see here I have line style. Let me put for the first one, I put dash here. Let me put marker. Can you see called marker? So I have my plot, line style is dash, the marker is this. So let me run this one. What am I doing? Okay, who can tell me the problem here? Who can tell me the problem?
You didn't put comma before after marker because
yeah. So when you are doing this thing, remember when you see an error, you can see an error. It show me the line and it show me the place exactly. You can see this. So this is telling me I didn't put something here, right? Can you see I put the marker here? This is called marker. So add symbols to your data point, because this is a data point, this is a data point, this is a data point. So it adds symbol. So you can have different kind of markers again. You can see you can have this marker V, you can have this one, you can have this square, star, plus. So you can see different markers. Can you see it? Can you see different markers? So all this, in fact, we have different kind of markers. You can see, in fact, you can use octagon, a different, line. You can see all of this. These are all markers that you can specify in your plot. Now we can combine all the threes in one line, in one plot. So you can see this is my plot. And then I have this one, X. You can see, I told you this is a plot. We have my X, my Y. This is the color. I put the red. And this is the marker. And then this is the line style, right? So I put this one here. You can see I have a single plot with that. And remember, this is always the order. You need to put color first, marker second, and you can put the line. But of course, if you put them in this order and you put them specifically the name, the argument, and the name is okay. But one key thing you should know is that I will show you something. You need to put the color, the marker, the line. This is it. Who can tell me what is happening here? When I run this, you can see it gave me the same, this one and this one. But I just put this one here. this. Instead, here, remember, I put color, marker, line sign, but here I put only this one. Who can explain to us?
This is like the code of that marker from red to 0.
From red to what?
From red.
I think it's similar to what upstairs. At the upper lot. The red first, then the line style, then the marker.
So what about if I do this? I put the marker, I put the red here. Oh, I put the red here. Can you see it? It doesn't matter the order, but always this is what we do. Always put the color so that for other people, color, marker, and line. So at some point you can see here, you don't need to be vivid, like to put color, marker, line style. You can make it shorter like this. This is it just to show you. So this is what we call all this stuff. Yeah, we have also what is called ticks as well. Ticks. What that means, here you can see we have what we call axis markers. So here, control the scale and appearance of axis markers. Control the scales. These were called ticks. Let me just give you an example. I import my Matplotlib. This is X, this is Y. All these are values. And now I plot this one. Plot X and Y. Yeah, this is our plot, right? This is our 0 X axis. This is our Y. Because if you look at it here, the value of X here, as you run it here, is basically, let's see what is X. This is X. This is the value of X, right? This is line space. This is the value of Y. So these are all values that we want to plot. And then we want to plot them. But at some point, you want to customize your plot. Like this is the default plot we have. We have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You didn't tell the plot, PLT plot, you didn't tell it start from 0 to 10 and start from -1, -0.7. You didn't tell it. It just automatically figure out what is going to use using the available values you have. But you can customize this using what we call axis marker. Take control the scale and appearance of axis marker. So this is how it does. So you can see here, I have the same code here, plot X, Y. I have this here, plot X, Y, but I can customize it. I can customize this using this PLT X tick and PST Y tick. So PLT X tick, you can see 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It means I want to use 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 here. And PLT Y ticks -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5, and it means it start from -1, -0.5, 0. So this is 0, 0.5, and 1. So this is, you put it there. And then you can put something like, custom level, 0, -1. Wherever -1 is, it should put low because this is low. This means that wherever you can see -1, it is low. We are not putting the numbers here, -1, -0.7. Can you see that? And here, you don't want this 0.5. Here, the medium, you can leave a space. And now, because this is 0, which is medium, you can put medium. And this is the high, the last one, you can put high. So you can see here, it put the high, it put low here, and it put medium here. So this, you can customize your plot. That is what we call, ticks axis marker. Control the scale and appearance. So you can see here it control the appearance. This is more meaningful when you give somebody like this plot. You can see you have only numbers here, but now you customize it. Oh, somebody can see this is a low, this is a high, this is a medium. So it makes meaningful stuff. You can also customize the x-axis. So here you can see how do you customize the x-axis using what we call x level. Customized axis. Meaning this is levels. You can put the level. Remember here we can put levels. Here we can put something here at the y-axis. We can put something at the x-axis. These are called plots. So for you to put something in the x-axis, you could do what you call x level. X level. Can you see that? So you can see here x level. I put time second. This is time second. And in my X level, I can specify the font size. You can see the font size is 12. I can specify the color. The color is blue. You can see here the X-axis. This is the font size, the color, and the blue. Y level, you can see this is Y level. This is the text in the Y. You can see this is a Y. And you can specify the rotation, 90. So you can see, because this is, it's, looking this, so the rotation is 90 because this is 90. But by default, here at X-axis, the rotation is normal. And title, X title. So this is the title of the plot. This is the title of the plot. We can use this PLT title. We can use PLT.title to specify the title of the plot. So what is the title of the plot? Signal measurement, you can see it. And then here we have pad 20. What this pad 20 means, the size between this one here, between this to here, it means it goes off. When I make this side, for example, 5, let me change it. 5 is 5. Let me, can you see it comes closer to the size to this one. When I make this one is 10, we'll see what happens. You can see this one. So these are some of the things what we call levels. If you want to levels you upload from y-axis, given the title and the x-axis, this is how you do the leveling of your plot. So you can see here, this is the customization. You can put the font size, the color, the rotation. That is the font size. You can see font size, the color, and also the rotation. You can see here I rotate to 90 degree where for y-axis, right? Any question? Ask question if there's any question.
Yes, sir. Sir?
Yes, go on.
Hello?
Go on.
Yeah. Yes, my question is, the rotation, is it measured in degree or?
Good. He is asking us the rotation, is it measured in, yes. So now, I want to show you something. Let me put this one here. Rotation 180, the x-axis. Look at the rotation. Can you see that? 180, right? What about
Yes,
when I say 360? The rotation is 90. Look at it. Can you see? When I say the rotation is 180, look at it. Right. So now the Matplotlib, the rotation, it allows you to specify what kind of direction you want it to look. So this is basically what the rotation is. For example, if I put this one, rotation is 0. By default, rotation is 0. You can see it's, is 0, is default. So we don't need to put any rotation because it's default rotation. Okay. Legend. So another one is legend. So you can see here, we now discuss how you can basically add, plot levels like your y-axis, your title. You can see this is title, y level, x level, right? Y level, you can see y means y-axis, x means x-axis. But this one is not level, it's just title. So we unlearn that one. Now let's move on to learn legend. You remember what is legend, right? Legend is something like this. You can see legend, right? This is called legend. At some point, if we do plotting, we add legend. How can you do that? It's very simple. Just like the way you do, you can see for each plot, you add a argument called level. You can see level is called solid because here I use solid line. Then I can say the level is solid. Here, because I use dash, then I can say the level is dash. Here, the level is dotted. Here, the level is dotted line. So when I finish everything, this plt.title, remember, can add title to your line, to your plot. You can see this is what we did, right? Plt the title, right? So you can see here now, if I added this one plt.legend, it will automatically come and put the legend. So now when I remove this one, let's assume I remove this one, and then I have this. You can see, even though I have level here, I have level here, I have level here, but I don't have this legend at the last one. It will not show me. So this legend allow you to show the legend in this, and this legend automatically Matplotlib automatically determine where to put the legend is. So here you can see automatically we put the legend in, but you can specify where to put the legend. Anybody who can tell us how to specify where to put the legend? Anybody with idea? So because here you can see the Matplotlib, I put legend here automatically. What about if I want to put the legend here, or I want to put the legend here? Who can tell us? Hmm? So there are many ways to do that. So for example, what I can do is you can have an argument called location. Yeah, location for the for the legend. You can upper right. You can see this one tell me upper right, right? So upper right. So when I run this guy, you can see the location. The legend is here. I can see upper right. When the legend is lt.legend and the title, no, the plt the legend log. I can have another one which is upper left, for example, upper left, and I run this guy. Okay, so if I run this, you can see the legend is here, right? The legend is upper left. So there are arguments that allow you to, for the legend, these are, you can see these are argument for the legend. This is plt the legend log upper right, upper left, lower right, center. So if you wanna put this as best, I can say best. This will automatically select the best position to put your legend, right? This automatically select the best position to do your legend. But these are some of the, so what I'm saying is that these things you cannot know everything at one point. You cannot cram everything. Even me, I don't know all these things. It's only when I come to do them, I just Google, and just okay, remember, oh, this is it. But I know how to do it, but you cannot put this all your mind. And then finally, when you finish everything, you need to save your plots, right? How can we do that? So we use what we call a function called save figure that allow you to save plot, right? So you can see this is our plot here. This is our plot. Remember, this is our plot. This is a plot, right? So you can see this is a plot. Whatever, if I want to save it, I can call this function plt the save figure. Then I say line style plot, for example, then PDF. So if you want a PDF, you can say that PDF. If you want SVG, you say that SVG. If you want PNG, it is the extension that allow you that, I can say PNG. It is the extension that allow you to save what kind of plot you want to have. So now you can see here I have three figures that I want to save. So let me run this guy. Now, after running this guy, it is expected I'm going to have three figures, one in PDF, one in SVG, one in PNG. Now, let me go to my folder. You can see PDF, you can see PNG, you can see SVG. When I click on PDF, you can see my plot. Can you see it? When I click PNG, you can see it. When I click SVG, you can see it. It depends on what kind of plot you want, right? It depends on what kind of plot you want, whether PDF, what kind of, so we can use different plot that we want. Yeah, so that's how you can save your plot. Right, okay. So I think we are already on top of the hour. It's already 3 o'clock. But I think now we get the gist on what we want to do if you want to start plotting Matplot using Matplotlib. And as I said already, this is where you can basically get started with Matplotlib. A lot of things you can get started and check out all these things. But you cannot actually learn everything from at the go. It's just iteration. You keep doing things, until you actually master them. Yeah. Any question? And again, don't forget, I'm putting the um, the slide or what we did today, visualizing. This is it, introduction to Matplotlib. I will change it. I'm pushing it into the GitHub repository, and you can get access to it. Next week we can dive into the details of our visualization. Okay, somebody was saying he has been trying to access the Discord. Let me share the Discord link for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. My
Yeah.
question is about the assignment.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
can see here something in Discord channel about grouping. So we
Yes.
don't know what group we are belong to.
Yes. So let me share my screen again. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay, so when we go to our repository here, you can see this is where we are today. We will start doing visualization because all the next weeks is about visualization, everything about visualization. But today we build the solid background on how we can understand all those visualization. For today, for visualization, there is no assignment. What you need, your assignment is to practice this one. The assignment here we have, you can see it, assignment here, you can see assignment. This is the assignment, right? This is just look at this one. But within the week, I think by Friday we will be having running down a session where we will walk through the assignment for those people that were not able to do it. But we will send more instructions. How to submit the assignments. We'll send them before Friday. We'll send, but what we assure you now, we have only one, assignment that we want you to submit. The first one, the last one for pandas and numpy is not necessary, but you can practice them and you can share them on your GitHub repository on the assignment. But the one we want you to start working on the assignment is this one, working with data. This is the assignment, so you need to start working on it. You can see we also have the pandas and this one, this you can see numpy exercises, pandas exercises. So we have this pandas exercises. No. NumPy exercise, for example, if you go back, NumPy exercises, you can see the NumPy exercise, import NumPy package, put in the NumPy version, create a null array. So these are all NumPy. If you don't practice this one, you will soon forget it. So we urge you, you need to practice this thing. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, next week we are on break, right? It's gonna be Salah break. So yeah, next week is Salah. So we will not be joining for next week. Opportunity, we will meet week after. But we'll send more information about the assignment, about also the grouping in the channel. Yeah. Any question? Lastly, we observe something. We will come up with our guideline as well, which we already do for our previous cohort. That attendance in our session. Attendance in our session is mandatory.
Attendance in our session is mandatory.
Will give us like so we will start taking attendance 5 minutes before the meeting starts. We'll take attendance 5 minutes before the meeting attendance, and 5 minutes to the end of the session we take attendance. This is simply to make sure that people that are dedicated are coming, and we are giving our time to people that do come. That means any person that missed 3 consecutive attendance will not be moving to the final part of the program. Will not move part to the part. So we know things can happen, but it doesn't add up if one is consistently is not coming, is not attending to the session, while we are also spending our time to come to spend this time with you guys. So it's encouraging to come at good time and also to stay for just 1 hour. If you are really interested to learn. So from next week, we will come back because in our previous call, we have Zoom features that automatically capture the attendance. Yeah. 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 All right. So thank you very much. If you have any question, let's keep the question in the Discord group. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We will upload our today's session, and I hope you learn a lot. And we'll also share the Jupyter notebook today we discussed. Thank you very much, and we'll see week after next week is gonna be a break, but oh, Balam is here. Abdul Jalil, maybe if you have any information you can share.
No, sir, there's no any information. You have said all. Yes,
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
This with regard to the issue of the attendance, I already captured attendance.
Oh, you already captured. Okay, good, great. All right.
And for there was one fellow that is using the labeled A, so we can't figure out the name. That was why we normally used to complain that everybody should write his name according to how it has been admitted. So that person have no attendance because we can't know the exact name.
Yeah. So just to let you know, yeah, the recording will be uploaded. We normally upload our recording in our channel. Just to let you know, in your Zoom, you can rename your name to your original name that you are admitted as a fellowship, because that's the name we will be using to, to record attendance. So change your name to your name that you've been admitted in the fellowship. We will soon post the list of the fellows that have been admitted. I think Abdul Jalil, you can share the list from our website, the fellows that are our current fellows, so that everyone will see his name before we come back. I think the list in our website is ready. You can chat with Dr. Idris and make sure that it's ready, and you can share with the fellows. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, and see you week after next. Thank you. Bye bye.